Okay, so today I want to talk about authenticity and honesty and the difference between the two and how that can help. And sort of my opinion, in my experience, 15 years worth of branding, how some of the pitfalls that being authentic can get you into. Uh, okay, so let's define terms. So, authentic would be how the internet defines it currently. It's sort of being your true self, being showing up online as you show up offline, and showing up, you know, without a mask or without a mirror and all that stuff. And I guess that is true. I guess that is a good thing. Sorry. And then on the other side, honesty, that would just simply mean telling the truth and being truthful. Now, both of those taken to their extreme would be problematic. So if you're always your authentic self, then you're picking your nose in public, you're um, farting all the time, you're eating with your mouth open, you're uh, these are the only things that are coming to mind. Maybe you're really grouchy when you're on camera, or you're really grouchy at work, or you wear your slacks and you don't wash when you go to work. Basically, I'm making being your authentic self sound like only the person you are when you're hungover on a Sunday, but essentially it kind of is that, really. You're always in your slacks. You're not looking after yourself. Um, that would be being authentic, or authenticity taken to its extreme. Now, on the other side, honesty taken to its extreme would just be that you have no tact, and you lack a little bit of empathy, and you just say what you think all the time. And there's a fun, there's an attractiveness to that. Look at Trump. Look at anyone in politics. Anyone who gets in the public eye. There is a refreshing thing to speaking your mind. But we love sensations as a nation. We love salacious stuff. We love anything that's Daily Mail worthy. The problem is that day-to-day life, you can't just cut about being a dickhead. To be honest, that's the crux of it. But being honest, rather than being, to be frank, you can choose how much. Just because it's true doesn't mean you have to say it all the time to everyone when they're on the back foot or whatever. So authenticity and honesty. If I was building a brand, I would just be I would definitely optimize for being honest. Meaning that if I am showing up in a bad mood, rather than being my authentic self and that's me, I would maybe say, "Hey, listen, I'm not in the place today, but we're going to do it." And we crack on. You would deliver it with some tact. You'd read the room. I wouldn't be maybe how I'm authentically feeling, which maybe I just want to shout and scream and be a bit pernickety, because those emotions, emotions come in and out, and anxious thoughts come in and out. Being our most authentic self in that moment might not even be our authentic self in general. It could be just right then. Whereas optimizing for honesty just means that you've got nothing to hide. People know who you are. There's a consistent level. They don't feel like you're lying to them when you're not feeling good, or it doesn't feel that the content which you write, you're not trying to be an expert. Like, I've been doing branding for 14 years. Over that time, there's been times when I've been more logo design. There've been times where I've been more graphic design, more guidelines. There's been time when I've been a lot more campaign and marketing. There's been a time when I've been almost exclusively writing. And some of them things have been profitable. Some of those experiences have been completely unprofitable. Some of those things have just been a complete waste of time. And that is what I think a career sort of looks like. It's not this perfect lineage. And I can be very honest about that. I have my career path on my LinkedIn kind of written down. I've got on my resume, it's very honest of where I've been for the last 8 years. Whereas being a true authentic self, if you come in and say like, "Oh, I'm amazing at this, I'm a brand expert, I'm a this, that, and the other," you might be a brand expert. You might be the best expert on branding in the room. But if you turn people off or they don't want to listen to you, then I don't know. Are you winning there? Whereas if you're honest, and honesty by definition, I think, means being truthful. And the truth is that you haven't always been an expert, and you haven't always been the best, and you haven't always got it right. Right. So that's the point we're talking about here. Maybe that's the crux of the meat and potatoes of the idea, is that your authentic self, I feel, is slightly tuned towards how you want to feel, or your best, most real grit version. And in actual fact, you don't really know what that is. That's a very marketed, hyper curated version of yourself that I don't think even you are processing that. Whereas on the other side, being honest, starting with honesty in a business and in the way in which you talk or you write or you create stuff, create art to business to music to anything. If you're just honest with where you're at, people will be much more likely to listen to you if it's more of a discussion with a pub landlord rather than a discussion with a professor. So if you are struggling to understand what to be on the internet or how to write or how to show up in content, there's a lot of waffle about being your authentic self or being authentic. And I just actually think it's a bit of a distraction. And I would personally, in my experience, in my opinion, and the people I've met and just my own life, give or take whether or not it's got a following on the internet or not, just being a human being, and like, you are much more likely to listen to somebody or come back and talk to somebody if they're just honest and they bake in that things don't always go well.